Have you ever used a dating app? Well, if so, chances are you haven't made it very far without being encouraged to pay for some kind of monthly fee, allowing you to unlock a range of supreme features which would give you advantages on said app. But why is this, and what is the problem with this approach? Well, this video covers a particularly sinister topic of how paid dating apps lure lonely singles into monthly subscription services. Now, as always, this video is going to be a banger, but particularly if you are a user of paid dating apps, you're going to want to watch this one all the way until the end, as we are covering the evil world of paid dating apps. Now let's start off by understanding the concept of what dating apps are. Because when you think of dating apps today, you may immediately think of Tinder. But whilst Tinder is a huge player in the modern dating app scene, this was not always the case, as they were not the first on the market. Now, the original concept of online dating goes back arguably to the 1950s, but it really came into the modern form that we know right now in about 1995, and it was pioneered by Match.com. And over the years, the market started to widen as more and more sites rose to prominence. But inevitably, after the launch of the iPhone and subsequent mobile apps, it simply made sense to transition from websites into apps. And essentially this has taken us to what we are familiar with today: interactive apps with easy to use swipe features. And that's the plus about dating apps. They are easy to use and easy to understand, but arguably they are more luring and addictive than other apps for one sad reason. And that's because the purpose of dating apps is, well, to get dates, obviously. But one has to think a little bit deeper on this topic, because whilst the connection actually starts online, this is not some kind of a game, as people are looking for somebody to spend the rest of their lives with. Now sure, some people are looking for a fling, which is fine, and apps like Tinder do actually accommodate for this, offering features for people looking for love or others who may just be down for some fun. But being as this video is centered around dating apps, we're going to assume that the majority of people on these apps are looking for dates. So let's have a look at where the problems start to come in. Because there are many problems with dating apps, but paying for dating apps will give people better luck, right? Well, the truth is actually incredibly far from that, as it is very hard to have any luck with dating apps, especially if you're a man. And there is one simple reason for this, because in terms of dating apps, there really are not that many fish in the sea. For instance, whilst Tinder is estimated to have around 75 million active users, the ratio of men to women on the platform is a staggering 9-1. And this means that there is 9 times more men on the platform than women. And effectively this results in a large amount of men competing for just a few women, meaning that if you are a man, you are effectively competing with 8 other men for the same girl. And this can be problematic for a few reasons. Now first of all, it means that you are unlikely to have much luck, because whilst you are probably a great person, the process of looking through somebody's photos to decide whether you are worth getting with is simply dehumanizing. And that is another problem with paid dating apps. They create unrealistic standards in the dating world, as obviously women on the platform are going to pick the men with the most appealing features. And this means that whilst your funny jokes may go down well with the ladies at the bar, when on Tinder they are less likely to impress, because there is that element of outright competition based on looks alone. Another fundamental issue with these dating apps is the interaction process. And this is where the issue of paying for services starts to come in. Because let's say that you match with the perfect girl or guy, and you're ready to send that message. Well, the interaction may not go as smoothly as you may expect. Because the thing is, people are not like they are in real life when on the internet. Because in a real setting, saying hello to somebody would probably dignify a response, allowing you to build a conversation from there. But if you were to do this on a dating app, you would be likely to be aired, as once again, this may be poor but usable in real life, but when it comes to competition with 8 others, your response may not be as appealing or funny as you would have first thought, as you are competing with 8 other people. When in competition with 8 others, your response may not be as appealing, and you only have about a 1 in 9 chance of being the funniest and most attractive person to send a message. And dating apps know this, but they have a key way to keep you interested. Because they say, don't worry, once you've had enough of the app, you can switch to a different, new, pioneering platform, right? Well, to be honest, most of these apps are owned by the same people. Remember earlier when we spoke about Match? Well, that's the brand behind OkCupid, Hinge, Meetic, Plenty of Fish, Ship, and Our Time. And that same brand is estimated to be worth about $37 billion as of today. And that's the thing about dating apps. Most of them are branded differently, but ultimately owned by the same few brands. And all of these brands have got this game down to a T. Because they completely understand how to get you hooked. Because dating apps literally pull on the very heartstrings of people who use them, as nobody goes on dating apps to check the news or weather, because they are simply looking for love and a connection. And whilst we are not going into the psychology of dating in this video, we know that these apps are predominantly being used by men, and these apps know what their customers are looking for. So they give them a glimpse of what they could have, giving them an insight into premium features. And all of a sudden, premium looks even more appealing. Look at how many matches there are. Look at all of the extra features one can get. It's a very appealing prospect, and many people therefore end up purchasing the premium, as they are looking for a date. And perhaps they will get somebody. But at the end of the day, dating apps are like continuously jumping through hurdles. Because sure, you may be on a free one, but premium makes it easier, so you might as well pay. And then yes, once you are on premium, you may be getting more likes, but now you have to try and get a response in a crowded and competitive market. And then you may get a response, but you have to keep the conversation long enough to get the other person to know you. And when you do get to know them, will they actually meet up? And more importantly, will they be the one? And this is a problem with dating apps. There are so many extra hurdles to jump through, and the services that provide these apps actually know this. They're able to give themselves a recurring stream of revenue by offering subscription-based services, allowing them to boost their own profitability, all whilst knowing the chances of you finding somebody, especially if you're a man, are very, very slim. But I don't want to end this video on a downer, so let's have a look at the other side. Whilst I myself have not used any dating apps, I have close friends who do or have. And as a matter of fact, a good friend of mine actually met his new girlfriend on one of these apps just a couple of months ago. Now the intention of this video is not to hate on dating apps, but simply to look at the dark side of the industry and go and uncover some of the secrets about the industry, as we have done in other videos looking at other topics. So I hope you did enjoy this video. Of course, if you did, do help us out by smashing the like button and subscribing and sharing it with a friend. And speaking of uncovering secrets in other areas, if you haven't already seen our other videos, make sure you do, as other videos in this series talk about dark secrets of both the electric car industry and Coca-Cola. And that is the end of this week's film. Now do make sure you join us next week, where we are going to be going over another pressing issue in the series. I hope you did enjoy this video. It probably took me about 10 hours to edit, but yes, it will be coming out around 6 PM UK time on Friday, and that is our usual upload slot. So if you can join us next 6 PM on Friday UK time, please do. Again, turn on the notification button as to not miss any of our future uploads. Other than that, thank you so much. You will be seeing some of our videos on screen, so again, feel free to click on any of them, and feel free to watch the playlist that we have compiled. So that is it for now, and I will see you all in our next one, again 6 PM next Friday. Thank you so much everyone, and I'll see you again.